What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to another episode of Respect the Game podcast. My name is Edward, named after a great man, that being my pops. Shout out to my mother and my grandmother for helping raise me too. Please make sure you go follow at EMAC for all your up-to-date high school, pro, and collegiate sports coverage. We'll not disappoint. We'll be sure to keep you up to date on all that is going on in the beautiful, illustrious sports world. Now, if you're watching us and not listening to us in your car, if you're watching this episode, you're probably wondering, we only see two of these guys. Why is that? We thought that they were gunning for the Olympics. Well, as you know, we already reached the qualifiers for the Olympics for the 3-on-3. We met the qualifications for that, so y'all will see us in pairs. And we're putting our bid in for the 2-on-2. Why not?
That's how we're doing it tonight.
You know yeah, man. But make sure you go follow our brother Shineheart Izzo, and make sure you go follow our brother Black Peace. I'm not sure if they're gonna make it tonight, but nonetheless, we're gonna hold it down for them in their absence. But go follow our brothers.
Man, y'all know I can really do this whole by myself, but I love having my team. I love having my group. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're chiming in the world. It is I, the one and only Sedacious Xavier Miles. And on behalf of me and my brothers, I want to say thank you so much for supporting and rocking with us. Go follow me on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter at I am Sedacious. That's at IAMSEDATAIOUS. Also, coopb.com. Let's become smarter than money. If you're trying to become smarter than money, hit me up. Let's go, bro.
What's that line you said last week? If your bills is on if your bills is on
yeah.
What did you say?
If your bills is on residual and your money isn't, come holler at me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? that's how we're doing it.
Yeah, man. This episode is, for the most part, going to be dedicated to the NBA Finals and the Boston Celtics winning the championship. But before we do that, we have to pay our respects to some legends in the sports world who have recently passed away. I want to say Bill Walton passed away a while ago, but I know we didn't talk about him last week on the pod. But paying homage to Willie Mays, who recently just passed here today, right before we got ready to shoot the podcast. Jerry West passed away this week, or just before we was able to shoot, or right after we shot last week's episode.
Right, it was right after we shot.
Okay, and then Bill Walton, like I said, passed away, man. One of the great things about Willie Mays is dude was so cold. He was playing in the Negro Leagues while he was in high school. So he was a professional baseball player while in high school. Fucking phenomenal.
Yeah. In baseball.
Yeah, in baseball. And also, too, I don't know if y'all know this, but the Negro League stats have just got added to the MLB, the Major League Baseball stats. So they're now recognized as like all one. Career stats. So it's like whereas Willie Mays stats would have like only been accounted for with MLB, his stats with the Negro League also comes into play. And forgive me right now, I forget his name, but since the MLB made that move, the all-time like the best hitter, the best batter, is a Negro League player. Josh Gibson. With the Major League Baseball officially incorporating Negro League statistics into the record books, Josh Gibson is now recognized as Major League Baseball all-time batting champion. But salute to Josh Gibson. Coming back to talking about Willie Mays. Again, Willie Mays playing for the Negro Leagues while in high school. He comes out of high school. He's playing for the Giants, gets Rookie of the Year for the National League. And right before his career gets ready to like really ramp up, he has to go fight in the war. So he goes off, fights in the war, puts his MLB career on hold. Once he gets done playing in the war, he comes on to have a Hall of Fame baseball career, um, where he had 2 National League MVPs and was a 24-time All-Star selection. He's historic for, it's called the catch, where he caught a 483 bomb over his shoulder in the World Series, which is a real iconic play for the MLB historians out there. So yeah, man, salute to Willie Mays, his contributions to the game, and being a professional athlete in high school, like that's, you don't hear that every day. You hear people going out of high school into the pros, but to already be in the pros while also simultaneously going to school, uh, very, very, very remarkable. Very remarkable. So salute to Willie Mays, man. Passes away at the age of 93. Um, Jerry West, the logo, Laker Nation, and Jerry West was so well renowned around the entire league that he had a hand on the executive side with the success of the Warriors, and he helped orchestrate the Kawhi Leonard, Paul George trade for the Clippers. He is responsible for bringing Kobe and Shaq together as an executive. Um, and so that's just him as an executive. As a player, we know nine-time appearances in the finals. He won at one time. But Jerry West being as good as he was, I believe he's the only player to win an NBA Finals award, even though he lost the NBA Finals. Mm-hmm. So if that's like not true, like imagine how great you gotta be for us to be like, we can't even deny you. Like you are the best player on this court, 1,010%. We gotta respect your game, and like this is your trophy. Though we beat y'all, here is your trophy.
You got Finals MVP though.
Yeah, I mean, you know, tag with the nickname Mr. Clutch, and he's a 12-time NBA. He's a 12-time All NBA selection, but he's made the All-Star. He's been named the All-Star every year of his NBA career. Remarkable career on the court, and obviously, like I said earlier, remarkable career as an executive off the court, helping other teams like work towards being champions, man. So salute to you, Jerry West, man. Hell of a career. And you know, like I always say the quote where, you know, they say you have 2 deaths, right? You know, your physical death, and then the last time your name is said on earth. And when you think about what Jerry West, the logo, means to the game of basketball, like his name will forever and always ring through the NBA, man. So his story, you don't have to worry about somebody like a Jerry West story not being told, or, you know, his name dying, and him not being appreciated for what he brought to the game of basketball. So salute to that, man. And then Bill Walton, who also passed away. Bill Walton passes away at the age of 71. He's a Hall of Famer. And similar to Jerry West, Bill Walton's career as a broadcaster was like second to none. And if you had the chance to watch Bill Walton commentate a game, college basketball games, it was absolutely like a joy to see. Me being somebody who went to school for broadcast journalism, Bill Walton has what not many people have. You hear anchors and stuff like that, and they got to be buttoned up, and they got to, you know, sound a certain way or behave a certain, you know, have a certain type of demeanor to themselves. Bill Walton just like let it hang loose, and like was himself 1,010% when he was like on camera. Like he never tried to be too cute with it. And just brought an extra an extra layer of entertainment to the game for those who was just watching the game, via television. So salute to Bill Walton, who's a NBA MVP, two-time college champion, and I don't know how many people know this, but en route to one of his championships that he won in college, Bill Walton went 21 for 22 from the field.
Bro,
If that ain't efficiency to the highest degree, I don't know.
Because I know Bill Walton did amazing as a broadcaster. Like some would say, like him in the NBA and him as a broadcaster is like a toss-up for real. But it's because he was a dog in Boston.
Yeah.
Like people forget, like nobody, they want, bro. He's a part of the 18 championship, bro. He was a dog. Like, so yeah, but that voice, it was just amazing just to hear it. You just have to feel it, you just have to be in it. We're going to go get it. Yeah, baby. Yeah, so yeah, Bill Walton all the way around. And when I heard that, it was like, because I am a Walton family fan because, Bill Walton is who he is, but Luke Walton is a longtime Laker. You know what I'm saying? He going to go down, and he coached us. So, I just thought about Luke immediately, and it's like, hey, you know what I mean? It's a circle of life.
Yeah,
but,
man.
Hey,
yeah, man. All three guys, won championships while they were playing. Willie Mays championships with the Giants. Bill Walton in college, UCLA with the Boston Celtics. Jerry West with the Lakers. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So salute to those OGs, man. Thank y'all for what y'all did to the game. And the legacies that y'all left behind. I am 1010% sure y'all will never be forgotten for what y'all did for y'all respective sports, man. So thank y'all for y'all greatness, and thank y'all for just respecting the game, man. Thank y'all.
Yeah. Much obliged.
All right, man. Speaking of the Boston Celtics and speaking of Bill Walton having a hand in the 18 championships that the Boston Celtics have, the Boston Celtics finished off the NBA season as NBA champions of the 2023-24 season. Banner 18. No Laker fans hate to hear that. They defeat the Dallas Mavericks 4-1, and they proven to be the best team this season all throughout the playoffs. And you can't take that away from them.
You can't.
You cannot take that away from them in any way, shape, or form. And so to start off, before we just dig into the game itself, Sedacious, what percentage of chance do you give the Boston Celtics to go back to back?
0.
0?
0.
That's tough, bro. 0 is crazy.
0.
I was gonna give them a 40%. 0. Why 0, bro? Why 0? Shout out to 0 too. Mo City Don. H-Time stand up.
Simply because I subscribe to the fact that they had the easiest path to the finals. And I subscribe to the fact that once you are the champion, you are the big man to take off. And it's almost like being a Cowboy fan, but you only got to do it after your team wins the championship, right? Because Cowboy fans have to endure just people just coming at us for no reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
How this relates to the NBA champion is like going into that next year, get ready. Like, it's always the same for us Cowboy fans, hate to say, but that's what happened in Denver. Happens to a lot of great teams. That's what happened to the 05 Pistons. I mean, and it goes on and on and on. That's very hard to do. That's extremely hard to do. The fact that Jordan had done it back-to-back, times, like 3 times this way and 3 times that way, that's Michael Jordan. The fact that Kobe got a three-peat and then he got a back-to-back, that's Kobe Bryant. The fact that LeBron got 2 back-to-backs, he got 2 back-to-backs? I think he do.
Who you said?
No. LeBron only got 1 back-to-back. He only got 1 back-to-back with Miami. I want to say 11 and 12 or 12 and 13. I don't know. But anyway, right, these are elite players. This is no. You mean to tell me that the Denver Nuggets can't make moves around Nikola Jokic and Aaron Gordon and so on to be better? The Milwaukee Bucks can't go out there to be better. There's a lot of teams. The Indiana Pacers, like if I just stay with the East, the Sixers, right?
So if you would allow me to go down this list real quick. So starting 99, 2000, starting right there. After Jordan retired, well, that would be going by that, but Jordan retires, wins his 6th championship. Jordan retires 98. Their following season, 98, 99, the Spurs win the championship. So then you got 99, 2000. That's when the Lakers went on their three-peat. So that would be one team going back to back, going at minimum back to back. Then you got Spurs, Pistons, Spurs, Heat, Spurs, Boston. Then the Lakers go back to back 09, 010. So that's 2 teams.
If he would have got that G when I was in high school in 08 for the three-peat, man, I was so mad Boston beat us, bro. Andrew Bynum was hurt, bro. I was so angry. I was graduating that year. I needed Kobe to win that championship. But we got their ass in 10, though. We got their ass in 10.
So since 2000, you've only had 4 teams go at least back to back. The Lakers, the Miami Heat, the Golden State Warriors, and hold on, I'm sorry, guys.
And you want to know why?
Well, yeah, the Lakers twice. The Lakers went back to back and went at least back to back twice. Then Miami Heat, Braun, the big 3, and then the Kevin Durant Warriors.
You took it away from me. I said, you want to know why they went back to back? Because this nigga loses to the team that wins the championship and was like, I'm finna join them. Of course y'all going back to back. But if J.R. Smith, we'd still love you, bro. But if you would just take the ball and put it back in the hoop after you got the offensive rebound off the free throw, but we'd be sitting pretty right now. But we're not holding it against you. We love you. We understand. It's some good weed out here, right? So it is what it is. But bro, LeBron put up 50 in Golden State in game 1, and all you had to do, but you dribbled the clock out. So sorry, I had to get that off my chest, bro, because they was going down. If they let LeBron come and take game 1 in Golden State with KD on the team, they was going down, bro. I really wish we could. Oh, man, I'm gonna go research that game. LeBron had a phenomenal game, bro. Phenomenal. Everybody was sad. Even Golden State fans was like, "Yeah." Thank you, JR. LeBron was kicking out.
Yeah, so you giving them 0 just because
zero. And it's the thing. We're not talking about my NBA that I grew up in, where it was really hard to do that. We're talking about a new NBA where everybody go everywhere now, and who knows who will win the championship this year, type ish. It's starting to feel like it's more along the lines of a storyline than who was the dogs that really went out dog the other dogs to really become the champion. It don't feel like that no more. When Sacramento would go up against LA before the finals, it was like, oh yeah, whoever got it. Bro, Sacramento and LA would trade body blows. They did a three-peat. They went on a three-peat. All 3 times, Sacramento gave them what for. Doug Christie, Bobby Jackson, and them boys, Stoudemire, bro, like, no, Stojakovic, Peja Stojakovic.
Asia. So you basically just feel like they had an easy road and they didn't really show any sort of dominance that should put us in fear of them like repeating.
No, not at all. I mean, I'm sorry. No, because Giannis Antetokounmpo was healthy. Damian Lillard and them find that chemistry. That's why I feel like it's at. I feel like
you got Joel Embiid if he stays healthy. Well, I don't know because I don't believe in the full body of that team with Joel having to do so much to produce for that team. But
yeah, I don't know the situation in Philly. I just pray for it because I don't know what they're gonna do. Joel Embiid is skillful, but how long do we go that route? How long do we want to build a team this way? And before we see it's not successful, it's my thing. I like Joel as the focal point. I do, but if it doesn't produce winning, what are we trying to do now? So in Philly, I just kind of let that be. James Harden's there, Tyrese Maxey. Hopefully it kind of comes together over there. But for me, the Kings of the East for me is the Milwaukee Bucks. So I'm like, I just don't. And what's crazy is, I don't know if I should say this now or save it for later. I don't care. I'm finna say it now. Like, Jason Tatum played a good game. Jaylen Brown played a better one. And I'm saying that to say this. If Jason Tatum would have won Finals MVP, all of the same faith I would have had in Kobe when I first was watching Kobe would have went into Jason Tatum. Pause. But since that did not happen, I'm still sitting on the back of the bandwagon. I'm all the way in the back. I'm actually in the extended cab back there, waiting for me to see the Kobe-esqueness. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. You extremely skillful player. Extremely skillful player. But you look like it just not you look like. It looks like you are an auxiliary to Jaylen Brown. Which ain't a bad thing. But to the Kobe hardcore guys out here, you can't go utter and being like that. And then we look at you on TV, bro, because we're going to be like, bro, like, was you playing? You know what I'm saying? Was you joking? Like, was you just trying to, like, because you had the spotlight, you just felt like I get to do this because I'm in the NBA and I get to say this and, hey, that's cool. But understand that this, like how Beyonce has the Beehive and Nicki Minaj has the bars.
Yo,
like,
so
Kobe got those fans that's like, yo,
here's
watch your
where.
mouth.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Finish up. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I digress.
Okay, so before we go into the Finals MVP conversation, I would give the Celtics a 40% chance to go back to back. I know that pisses you off.
No. You good. I'm just thinking to myself.
But
there was one question I was supposed to answer, and I answered a whole nother question.
Nah, it's all good. Yeah. So the reason I'll give them a 40% chance is because beyond the nucleus of that team, you could argue the entire team is coming back next year. And I think that's half the battle of going into a 82 game long season, trying to develop chemistry, and so on and so forth, right? So Jason Tatum got 2 years left. We know Brown just signed a contract extension this past season, so he's on for 5 years. They extended Drew this year, so he's on for 4 years. Porzingis for 2 years, Peyton Pritchard for 4 years, Derek White for 1 year, Al Horford for 1 year, right? Maybe you could argue that Derek White go somewhere with 1 year. I don't know if he's a restricted free agent, if he's going to like shop around this summer to see if he can get a better deal. But Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Drew Holiday, Kristaps, Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, and Al Horford, all those guys coming back. Like,
but can they now go to the market again and demand more money, being newly champions?
Al Horford, no. Al Horford about to retire soon.
Right,
Al
right.
Al Horford, no. Derek White, yes. Peyton Pritchard, he's coming off the bench, and it's not like he was really getting a lot of minutes. So I think he's gonna stay put with his situation being in Boston, right? Kristaps Porzingis, he's on for 2 years, and he had a ailing injury this NBA Finals, and hell, forget the finals. He had an ailing injury the entire playoff stretch, right? He missed 2 playoff series, I believe, right?
Yeah.
So like you're not fit to go nowhere when they see you banged up and injured, right? Um, and obviously Jason Tatum, he's probably going to trump the money that Jaylen Brown is making. So you got to give them a 40% chance at minimum because their core is coming back, their core is returning. Joe Mazzulla is obviously, still going to be coaching the team. And what most teams have to like, where most teams are going to be on the back burner of who's going to be our coach, Lakers. What new acquisitions are we going to be able to make in the offseason if we need them? Warriors, and you name many more
Bucks,
teams, Bucks, Clippers,
Philly.
if like
Yeah.
the list goes on in terms of like
Yeah.
what acquisitions we may need, right? The Boston Celtics have all that figured out. We know who we're coming back. We know who our coach is going to be. We are the champions. The only thing left to do now is continue to stay injury free or get Porzingis healthy and keep developing our chemistry. And hey, if we get lucky again and like the road is paid for us because other guys deal with injuries, like I think you got to at minimum, and even if I'm gonna say a 40% chance because like to get through the gauntlet, like we see since 2000, there's been 4 teams to be able to do it, to three-peat. I mean, to at least go back to back since the year 2000. And so, like, obviously, that's not easy to do. You think about Jason Tatum, getting ready to go to the Olympics. He's been in finals after finals after finals, and now he's getting ready to go to the Olympics. So, like, does that put wear and tear on his body? Don't want to project any, future injuries. But if that were to be the case or something like that, people will point to, oh, he's been playing so much basketball over the past couple of years. He's so tired. His body's banged up. He's getting worn down. So give them at least a 40% chance because they already have a head start on guys. I'm thinking about Denver. You think about Denver, like, do Denver need to go get some new pieces? You know what I'm saying? And try to restructure what they got. You know what I'm saying? Or are they content? Does the Timberwolves need to make some moves and make some adjustments? So I think, and also too, right, dog? A lot of times you see teams get championships, and so many guys are like on their contract gear or they are high off their championship. They're like, we got this championship. All right, I'm fixing to go somewhere else and get my money. These guys are stationary. You know what I'm saying? Like Drew if you just want to fight to say what's the core, Drew gonna be there. Tatum, Brown gonna be there. Let Porzingis get healthy. He gonna be there. Would not at all diminish the value and impact that Derek White brings. But if he decides to go, you're not that stressed out. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, give him a 40% chance. Give him a 40% chance to at least go back to back, despite only 4 teams having been done it since the year 2000. You went
That's
over.
crazy. I didn't look at it as like percent because you did say what percentage, but I looked at it like if they going or if they not going. So that's why I was just like, oh, 0 off the rip. So I mean, chance, as far as chance goes,
Yeah.
if I had to take a stab in the dark on chance, yeah, I'll say around 40%. I'll say around, if not 35.
Oh, yeah, man. All right. So you were giving your take on Brown or Tatum not winning the finals MVP and that Kobe comparison and so forth. Here's what I would say about that, right? I will give Jason Tatum credit. Why are you giving Jason Tatum credit? I understand we're all diehard. I understand we're all diehard Kobe fans. I understand that Kobe meant so much to us and the Mamba mentality and the killer and the sniper that Kobe Bryant was. But en route to that, back-to-back against the Boston Celtics in 2010, Game 7 of the NBA Finals, Kobe Bryant shot horrible that game. He shot horrible that game. Similar to the rough stretch that Jason Tatum was on throughout the NBA Finals, right? However, despite Kobe not being able to affect the game in a way where it resulted to him shooting the ball high at a high efficient rate, he affected the game with the rebounding. We're in that Game 7. He had like 15 rebounds, I believe. And so I give Jason Tatum credit because just like when Kobe's shot wasn't falling, he found another way to affect the game. Jason Tatum's shot not falling at an efficient rate that you would like, but he finds a way to still give you 7 boards and 7 assists. So it's not like his shot not falling and he's of no use to you or your team because his shot not falling. He's still finding a way to trust his teammates, trust the offense, get in the lane, let me get on the boards, let me, make the extra pass with them directing the attention to him that they were. And so I think for that reason, for Jason Tatum to not get caught up in the hoopla of the outsiders of like, he off, or like, is he gonna really win the MVP? Or is he really Mamba mentality? Or is he really gonna average 30 in the finals or whatever the case may be? Like he didn't get caught up in that. Like he did what he needed to do to win, to get the job done. So, those years when Kobe was with Shaq, obviously a great team that they had surrounded around them. It was just better situated for Shaq to win the NBA Finals, right? Didn't necessarily mean Kobe wasn't who he was. Shaq said, "Oh no, Kobe was the guy on our team. It just suited me for our situation in the finals to be dominant, right?" And so, and even though and the crazy part is, you give Jaylen Brown the NBA Finals MVP award. But Jason Tatum finished the series with better numbers than Jaylen Brown. Jason Tatum was 22.7 rebounds, 7 assists, averaging that in the NBA Finals, whereas Jaylen Brown was only 25 and 5. So
While he was holding Luka Doncic.
While he was holding Luka Doncic, right? And to whatever credence you want that to be, considering Luka was going to average 30 and Dallas was still not going to win. So, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, like I would tip my hat and give Jason Tatum his flowers. I know he didn't average 28, 10, and 13 to everybody who's like really, really want to drag him through the mud. But like, bro, he found the way to get the job done. Like,
yeah,
that's something Kobe has always done.
We want to give him his flowers. We surely do want to give him his flowers, but understand that when Shaq left and Kobe won championships after that, no one else was the Finals MVP. No one else.
Yeah.
so I mean, that's just how we look at it. That's all. Giving him his flowers. We respect the game through and through. We don't do no hating over here on this side. For sure. But as it pertains to doing work and being amused, you know what I mean? That's, you know what I'm saying? the Black Mamba world, you know what I'm saying? We want domination. We want annihilation. We want, you know what I'm saying? We want your opponent to know that you they daddy. That's what we at. You know what I'm saying? We overkill is what we do over here. You know what I mean? So that's all speaking as a typical Kobe fan who's, you know, this is how we are now. This is how we are. Sorry. And it just is what it is. And then the proof is in the production. What Kobe being by himself at the gym, shooting however many shots, the proof was always in his production when it was time to play. We're not saying that we're not saying it's because you are not good. We're saying it's because we understand a work ethic to be able to become the Black Mamba. You know what I mean? We understand the work ethic. We understand the path. We saw the path. You can't, you know what I'm saying, have your path just kind of start a little bit and then start utter something like that. Especially now that we ain't got them no more. Oh, we extra turned up. All over the world, we extra turned up. And we don't care about it. And you could have had conversations with Kobe, and we ain't never had a conversation with Kobe. But guess what? We don't give a fudge. Standard is the standard. But yeah, again, I digress again. I'm sorry. Because I'm secretly like it's a really a love-hate thing that I got going on with this Jason Tatum stuff, because it's like, okay, bro, I'm watching you, man, but it's like, yo, why they talking about your homeboy though? You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh yeah, the girl said that they want to come to the party and stuff. I got them to come through. I convinced them. You know what I'm saying? Nah, when I walked over there, they said they coming because your homeboy said that they and your homeboy said it was jumping. Your homeboy convinced them, and yeah, you trying to get some cred off your homeboy. Oh, okay, all right, that's how y'all roll. Yeah, you a champion. No, but all jokes aside, congratulations to the Boston Celtics. Hey, you win. And I understand because they still trying to say our bubble championship was whatever. We don't give a damn how they feel. So neither should y'all. You know what I'm saying? Congratulations to Banner 18. I want to say y'all either 1 or 2 ahead of us now, and we just got to catch up. We got to catch up.
Yeah, man. In that game, talking about Kobe, that game 7, Kobe was 6 for 24 from the field.
Yeah.
Like just nasty.
I remember watching that.
Yeah, man. 6 for 24 from the field. Still found a way to squeeze out
missing
23 points. And like I said, he had 15 rebounds. So Kobe found the way to get the job done, though the shot wasn't falling. And that's what we witnessed from Jason Tatum in his NBA Finals. So despite him not getting the NBA Finals MVP, even though his numbers were better than Jason Tatum, like let's not disrespect him. Get lost in let's not get lost in disrespecting Jason Tatum and his impact on winning this game. Because what we do know is they wouldn't have won it without him, regardless of how you feel.
Of course not.
So
of
yeah,
course.
man.
Of course. We talking about the whole team coming back. Yeah, they're gonna need the whole team.
Hindsight. Who would you deem the X factor to be in this series now that the dust is finally settled and we see how it all played out? I know for me starting off, I said my X factor was Derek White going into this series. But who I deem the X factor to be now is different than who I picked. But like who's that hindsight X factor for you? And who was your X factor going in? I don't know who you picked.
Oh yeah, my X factor going in was gonna be PJ Washington. He did a bunch of nothing. And I also went with you. Well, no. PJ Washington, and I think that was it. But in hindsight, for me, it was Drew Holiday. Uh, and what's funny is, bro, while I'm looking at the Celtics' success, I'm like, so they just like you just got on the podcast and said some shit for real. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you really looked at these two teams for real, you would have saw that all they had was Kyrie and Luka, and these niggas got Drew Holiday, Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Al Horford, what's your Peyton Pritchard, Derek White. Oh shucks, they got a squad. So yeah, no, hindsight for me, Drew Holiday with the clamps and the facilitator and all of the different ways that he contributed, to the production because he kind of shined. He kind of shined in the finals.
No, I agree with you. For me as well, Drew Holiday, 1,010%. Drew averaged 14 points, 7 boards, and 3 assists. I guess you could say they played small ball. Isaac was talking about it last week, how Drew Holiday just being in that dunker spot has just like paid off for them. As Drew Holiday was able to be extremely active, kind of probing the baseline like a Aaron Gordon for the Denver Nuggets, if you will, right? And being able to come up with 7 boards, like that's hella activity for somebody like Drew Holiday, who's normally out there on the perimeter trying to defend the best player, which he was doing. Him and Derek White taking turns and sometimes, trying to trap Luka and Kyrie Irving. But yeah, so and so, when you recently just said a few moments ago when you said, "Damn, I feel like I just really got on here and I was just like just saying whatever," like because when you really look at the tail of the tape, it's just like Dallas didn't have a chance to begin, and I knew that going in. Like I knew Boston was a respectable favorite and they should be drastically favored over the Mavericks. I just wanted to see the unexpected. One. Two, I knew that if Dallas won, that would mean the series would go longer.
You're right.
Right. And then 3, I mean, it's just Texas, Houston bias. They're the closest to Houston. So I'm going to go as closest to home as I possibly.
Reason to celebrate over here.
Right, so that's really what it was for me and me picking Dallas, but like I knew like Boston was supposed to win. What stood out to me, man, apart from like in conjunction with Drew being the X factor of this series for the Boston Celtics, man, because you would have thought that Porzingis was going to be the X factor after game 1, but he ended up getting hurt, and so they kind of just had to play the bulk of the series after game 1 without Porzingis. And so I've always criticized them because like I feel like they play a your turn, my turn type of like style, but at least that's how I categorized it at first. But it just being Joe Mazzulla staying true to his their 5-out offense, where when you watching the Boston Celtics and they got 4 guys all on the perimeter, or 5 guys literally all standing out on the perimeter, and you can sometimes think like they're just being stagnant if you catch them at moments where sometimes they are, but for the bulk of what the offense, or what I believe it to be useful for with a 5-out offense, is being able to penetrate, cause the defenders to make a decision where, hey, you're either going to let me drive to the paint after I beat my defender, or you're going to step over and help. And if you step over and help, I'm just going to kick it to, i.e., Jaylen Brown, i.e., Al Horford, i.e., Derek White, i.e., Drew Holiday, or whoever has the ball, i.e., Jason Tatum. And so you've seen that like masterfully like at work in this series, and when I saw it I was just like, I get it, like I see why y'all are great now, because like y'all have the personnel to be able to shoot a lot of threes at a high clip. And even if you got two guys who off from three that night, you may have three other guys who
Yeah,
who knocking them down, and you look up and y'all 12 for damn 18 from three, and it's just like, bro, what? And so
yeah, Angelo Russell had that one game. I was like,
yeah, man. So watching last night, watching the series, I developed appreciation for the Boston Celtics and how Joe Mazzulla stuck to his guns and trusted the offense and the personnel that they've been developing and working on all this season. Yeah, man. Yeah. I truly appreciated to be able to like see that from an X's and O's standpoint come together to be like, that's why y'all successful, right? Like it's easy to criticize them and bash them. Ah man, the Heat, Jimmy Butler was hurt, bro. Y'all got off easy. Ah man, Tyrese Halliburton was hurt. Y'all got off easy against the Pacers.
Giannis went down.
You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, who is that? Who is that they played in the Eastern Conference Finals? Oh, Cleveland. That's who else is. They didn't play them in the finals, but they played them in the second round. It's easy to be like, ah man, Donovan Mitchell, he hurt, bro. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like when the rubber had to meet the road, when they really had to execute, like they stayed true to what it is they did best, man. And you say live by the three, die by the three. Like people most of the time say they with a negative connotation, I believe. But it's just like, nah, they live by it, they flourish by it, they won a championship by like living and dying by the three. And even going back to Drew being an X factor, man, there were just moments and points where, like, as Drew Holiday is probing that baseline, and he'll flash to the elbow, and they'll kick it to him in the elbow, and he either has a post up or he just has so many different options to where, oh, you kick it to Drew on the elbow, you can run off somebody's shoulder, run off a screen, and that could be an easy dunk pass, or hey, that three is open for, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So I've grown a respect and appreciation for the 5-out offense in this playoff series. And that's the reason I say I give them 40%, because now that we've seen what your superpower is, or what you're most effective at the highest level, I feel like that gives ground for the rest of the league to be like, all right, they are the favorites. So in the event we have to meet them, how are we going to go about stopping this offense? You know what I'm saying? How before, when the Warriors were on their run, you felt like threes. We need threes, like to be able to compete, right? I forget who said it, but the Rockets, they were just like, no, our team was specifically designed to beat the Warriors, right? They just so happened to miss 25 plus straight threes in a game, when we really needed them the most of all. And yeah, it would be interesting to see going into next season if the Boston Celtics makes any adjustments to their offense. And if they don't, I would love to see how the top defensive teams will go about trying to guard them next season. So that's gonna be very interesting and fun to watch from the X's and O's, standpoint. Yeah, man. The next question was like, well, at least that's what stood out to me. Talking about the 5-out offense, like what stood out to you as it related to the series, Dacius?
The fact that Luka and Kyrie couldn't do shit. That's it. I was like,
do you think they couldn't do nothing, or they were just outmatched from a team standpoint?
Of course, and that's pretty much what I mean. It's like it really felt like the Mavericks had a good enough team to go and win the championship, up until they didn't, and you realize that their team was the only two niggas that we thought was their team, and that ain't gonna get it done. And so it's crazy how X's and O's go, because the way that they are getting to the NBA Finals, you feel like, okay, if they beat the Timberwolves, they should be good to go with the Celtics. But it ain't necessarily the case. The best
Who's
team
the
will
number
always
one
win.
defense in the league, right?
Right. So it's just like, yo, nah, because these boys got defense and they got O. So it is what it is. But yeah,
Yeah,
that's what stood out to me. What stood out to me is that, like, yo, bro, Kyrie and Luka getting suffocated.
yeah, man. Luka averaged 29 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists in this series. And that's crazy considering they're getting suffocated. He was getting suffocated, with
Right.
defense, right?
Because he's trying to get 45 a night.
Yeah, man.
He
Luka,
finishing in him averaging in the 20s was like, that tells that they put a clamp on him.
yeah, he averaged 38 minutes a game in this series. Game four, which was the blowout, he only played 33 minutes. He only had two 30 point games. But yeah, Luka averaged 29, 8, and 5, and also averaged 4 turnovers a game. But also too, bro, like Luka, I know people was getting on him about the blow by percentage, but he was competing on defense, bro. Like he's doing so much, so I can understand the
Yeah.
lapses in judgment at times, but like let's not act like your best player is always like a well-renowned like defender. You know what I'm saying? Like let's not do that to Luka.
And then, bro, you gotta think. I'm also thinking about too, like, he has to defend how he defends, but then keep energy to go. It wasn't. I'm sorry. It wasn't. It wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. And I wanted so bad for it to be enough, because it seemed like it should have been Luka's time. But when you think about it, it was the Celtics' time as well, because the Warriors beat them bad. I'm glad they came back from that.
Nah, man. Kyrie had Kyrie averaged 19. Kyrie averaged 19.8 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists. Uh, it was
Devin
not.
Brown said, "Vintage Kyrie night wasn't enough." Damn.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nah. Kyrie doesn't hit the 50 ball for Black Peace. Black
Oh,
Peace predicted that Kyrie was gonna have a 50 ball. The closest Kyrie got to that was game 3 where he had 35.
mm.
Um, so so yeah, man, it's tough, man. It's a tough series for Kyrie. I think what the either Luka game has to change or the Mavericks have to reconstruct their team. So you can't have you can't teams can't come into a series saying let Luka average 30 and we're still gonna get out of here with the win. But Luka averaging 30 and y'all still not having a high percentage chance of winning, you need to reconstruct something, whether that's the personnel or that's the type of system that you're running. Obviously, Luka's always been ball dominant, but at the same time, with this ball dominance, Luka's also going to, kick it and feed his guys. So you gotta figure something out. So at that next level, Luka doesn't have to expend so much energy to wring out production, and also two, you could be put in a position where you can afford or have the luxury for Kyrie to have a off game or two in the series because you have another playmaker, another guy who could score, score the ball, ISO, and go
Right.
get his own bucket. When you just look at the tail of the tape for the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks, it was simple and plain. Luka and Kyrie had to be great every single game for them to have a chance to win. They couldn't afford to have any hiccups, any injuries, any fevers, flus, colds, any of that. They couldn't afford to have none of that. They had to be great, probably averaging 30 apiece a night just to have a chance That was the prerequisite just to have a chance at beating Boston. Whereas Boston, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown can have an off night. You got damn Porzingis game one coming off the bench for 25 and 20 minutes. It's like, bro, what? So
nobody's seen that coming.
Nobody saw that coming. So I think Dallas got to get back to the drawing board, get into the free agency to find some more offensive firepower that can create their own, and not just wait to be spoon fed by Kyrie and by Luka, man.
Yeah, that's my thing, and it was evident. Like game 3, I want to say game 3. I'm like, yeah, it don't matter what they do, they can't do enough. They can't do enough alone. So.
Right on, man.
I'm sorry to y'all. I work today.
I work and I work. Man, it's something that I'm forgetting, and I know once I start editing the podcast, I'm gonna be like, "Damn, we forgot this, or we forgot that."
So take 2 minutes and think about it.
I will say this before we close, fellas. This is a prime opportunity now that the NBA season is over with. This is a prime opportunity for you to get some brownie points with your old lady. And all you got to do is later this week, be like, hey, boo, I know the game come on tonight, and I ain't really been spending time with you because the NBA playoffs, just been running a lot since April. But even though the game on tonight, I'm gonna put that aside because I want to spend some time with you. And she be like, damn, like he ain't gonna watch the game tonight. I mean, and if your old lady don't really follow sports, like she don't know the season, but she don't know the season.
Right, right now, you can hit that up.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? So go ahead when they play with your old lady, man. Make her feel special, man. Make her feel
I'm over here being honest to my wife. I'm like, yeah, Boston Celtics won the championship. It's over.
Yeah, man.
Last game of the NBA season just happened. We never know when this is gonna be the last.
You're right. What you said you needed me to fix now? I was supposed to fix that back in April. The finals.
It was like, yeah, they stopped game 5. You got 2 more.
You got 2 more
days. You got 3 more days to get you.
Oh no, baby, you know what I'm saying? Like it's like they getting 2 days off and they gonna play Sunday. You feel me? Like
no, so actually, baby, they play in secret. Once they get down to like game 5 and 6, nobody can see it. They just play at the Coliseum by themselves. Yeah, nobody can watch it. So I'm taking that time to be with you, boo.
Yeah, man. We're gonna wrap up the show, man. We have been getting an immense amount of love and engagement on the YouTube comments, on the Instagram pages, TikTok, all of that. Make sure you go follow at Respect the Game Pod on Instagram, or follow Respect the Game Podcast on YouTube. I believe it's the same on TikTok. Yeah, it'll all be in the description down there and in the comments. But nah, man, thank y'all truly, sincerely from the bottom of our hearts for the engagement. We've been doing this going on like 3 years and counting since the pandemic, or maybe going on 4 years. And yeah, man, we've been growing this slowly, but nonetheless steady. And so we appreciate the engagement, the comments, and y'all just rocking out with the content. We do not take it for granted. We're going to continue to give y'all good content to get y'all through the week, get y'all through work or whatever task y'all doing. And make sure you like, share, subscribe, comment, like you've been doing, and all that extra good stuff. This is the Respect the Game Podcast. We will see you beautiful people next week.